Hey guys, welcome back to Desert DIY. If you are new here, my name is Cory. Today I'm going to be showing you a piece that I got from a dumpster. A friend of mine sent me a picture of it and said, "Do you want this?" And she picked it up from a dumpster. And that actually happens to me quite often. And if you stick through to the end of the video, you will get to see me actually go and pick something up for free and how I found it and all the backstory on how I do this on a regular basis. So stick through to the end to see that. But I want to show you how I turned this literally garbage piece into something super cool and give it a whole new purpose, because I really could not recreate its original purpose, and you'll see why. Obviously, at first glance, you can see that this used to be one of those half-round display cases. It probably had glass shelves inside it, and it's seen better days. It needs some structural work done to it, and I can't recreate a half-round glass like this to put on the other side. And the door is completely gone. It was gone when my friend picked it up. This was the condition that it was in. So I knew right away I couldn't use it for its original purpose without spending a lot of money, which I don't like to do. I like to do things on a very tight budget. That way anybody watching can recreate it no matter what their income situation is. But I want you guys to comment down below right now and let me know, what would you do to repurpose something like this? Obviously, I've already done whatever I'm going to do with this, but I would like to know, what would you do? Because then other people can see those comments and maybe find a different purpose for one that they have at home. It's very common for these pieces to have missing glass, broken glass, and that curved glass is probably very expensive to replace. So I'm just going to do my little fix-ups on here. I just removed that glass, and I'm removing the hinges off of here since there's not going to be a door for what I'm doing. And if you want to go ahead and guess now what I'm doing, you can leave that comment right now down below, and then later on you can reply letting me know if you were right or wrong. I think that would be a really fun thing to read. I'm going to reuse these hinges in the future. The screws on them were square head screws, which my Canadian viewers, I believe that is a Canadian thing, the square head screws. And that might mean that this piece is Canadian. Who knows? But I will reuse just the hinges themselves. You can never have too many hinges. I'm pulling out my Dremel right now, and I want you guys to get to see how it actually is to use a Dremel. So right here, I'm making sure that I'm going to pick the right blade, which would be for cutting wood, and it will say it on there that it's for wood, just so you know if you ever get a Dremel. And I'm warning you, it's going to be kind of like an annoying noise for a minute here. So just prepare your ears for that. I turned the volume down quite a bit on it, but I just want you to get a real life experience of what it's like to use this Dremel. Alright, that wasn't so bad, was it? I feel like it wasn't so bad. Now you get to laugh at all the faces that I make when I'm using wire cutters to cut something that is difficult to cut. I have really weak hand strength compared to what I used to have, and I don't know why. My wrists and my hands have weakened for a while now, but I just cut off the little nails that were holding the glass in place. That way they're not something jagged sticking out that somebody's going to catch their hand on or something like that. Now I'm going to take some wood glue and stick it down inside the crack that was going along the back here. I'm just letting gravity take that glue down all the way into that crack from the top to the bottom, and then I'm going to use these little vice grips to keep it tight while it dries. This wood glue says that it needs to set for 30 minutes, but not to like mess with it for 24 hours. And it worked really well. It's just the random store brand that I got from my hardware store down the road. And you just make sure that you wipe off any excess glue, because wood glue is extremely difficult to get off or sand off once it dries. Now I'm going to add some mystery wood to this piece. What do you think I'm going to use these for? My husband stepped in and helped for this part because I was homeschooling my kids, and we kind of tag team when it's something that one person is better at than the other. Or, for instance, I went to college to get a degree in elementary education, so I am the educator of my kids since they're homeschooled. And so when I need to do something like that, it's better for me to take over that job. And he's great at using tools, and he has been doing construction his whole life. So when it makes sense for us to switch out and he tags in while I tag out, that is what we are going to start doing now. Especially now that this has become like a full-time job for us, I guess, in a way, because I do most of the hours in this, but he does help me quite a lot too. So it's kind of like our full-time job together. And he's just going to sand those pieces, and he's putting wood glue on before he attaches it to the back of this piece. Have you figured out yet what I'm going to do to this? I love keeping you guys in suspense, and I've gotten a lot of comments on previous videos where they say they love that I don't show the finished project or product in the beginning because it kind of blows the surprise. And for people who have experience in flipping furniture, I know for like me personally, if I see the before and the after, then I can already tell what they did, you know? So sometimes it's better to leave for a little element of surprise in there, so that way it's more fun to watch and you pay more attention to the steps along the way instead of thinking, oh, well, I already know how to make that. I can figure that out just by looking at the after picture. Let me know in the comments down below if you prefer to have it be a mystery or if you would rather see the after picture right away in the beginning of the video. He's just going to screw those pieces on from the back. He nailed them from the sides, and then of course he has the glue as well so that they are on there very sturdy. Now he's going to do the second piece right here, and if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I call myself an eyeballer. So I am not somebody who will get exact measurements to make sure something is perfectly centered. Of course I will do exact measurements of cutting wood, you know, you kind of have to do that. But when it comes to making sure it was perfectly level and all that, that is definitely something that my husband is better at than me because I don't have the patience for it. And like I always say, I would just eyeball it. And my eyeball's pretty accurate most of the time. So it's not perfect, but it's pretty dang good. Hey, come here. Get it right here. Yeah. I had to throw that clip in because it was just so cute. He's obsessed with hammering anything. So he thinks that he is just mama's best helper ever. And so we always give him a little something to do when we're doing this work. But for this next portion, I have to wear a respirator. And I can't have him in there for that because the wood stain I'm using is an oil-based wood stain. It is called Early American and is very close to the original stain that this would have had. You can see how the top part, like the little pie crust top, is nice and dark just like this, and the rest of it had dried out. So I'm just kind of restaining it the way it was, and then I'm staining those pieces of pine to match, and it turned out pretty dang good. It was a close match. And I have horrible allergic reactions to wood stains now, so I have to wear a respirator even to smell it for a second, or else I'll have the worst sore throat ever all night long. I'm going to be using Dixie Belle's paint. The color is called Palmetto. I'm not sponsored, but I wish I was because this paint is the bomb, literally. I adore this paint. I also wanted to share with you some cool things that are going to be changing with my channel here pretty soon. I don't have any dates or anything like that for these changes, but something that I have already done that is going to already be available to you right now is I came out with merch. So I'm wearing one of the shirts. I ordered it. It says "We Can Make That," and it says "Desert DIY" with a paintbrush and a little saw. I do recommend that when you buy these, if you want to, that you size up 1 or 2 sizes. So I'm normally a size small, and this is fitting me like a small, but it's a medium. So if you want a snug sort of fitted look, then I would go with 1 size up. And if you like the more loose fitting feel, then I would go up 2 sizes. And if the women's size, I believe, goes up to 2X, if that is still, if that is not 2 sizes bigger than your normal size, then I would go ahead and order the men's sizes. My husband got a shirt. He's normally an extra large, and the extra large fit him kind of snugly, and it he's like one of those big and tall sizes, so it's not super long, but it does fit him well. So the men's sizes are sized pretty accurately, at least for the extra large. So if you want, you can, ladies, order the men's sizes and they might fit a little more accurately. But otherwise, they come in a bunch of different colors. And if you want one, cool. If not, that's fine too. But I just wanted to have this option. And if you're somebody like me who's kind of like a t-shirt collector, I buy shirts of like all the places I go and cool people I like. So if you're a shirt collector like me, or a mug collector, because there's mugs on there, or a like a tote bag collector, that stuff's all on there if you want to go ahead and check that out. Another announcement that I want to share with you is that I'm going to be starting a Patreon as well as YouTube memberships. So stay tuned in future videos where I talk more about that. Patreon is like a online platform for artists. So if they are trying to find a way to be paid, you can create these Patreon sites where you give out extra content for people who pay for subscriptions for that extra content. And the YouTube memberships do the same kind of thing as Patreon. It's just through YouTube. So you would pay a monthly subscription fee, kind of like if you're getting like Discovery Plus, or if you're getting like any kind of TV show sort of monthly subscription. It's a lot like that. So you would just pay different rates for different levels of the subscriptions. And I will definitely give you more information about that once I have it up and running. So don't worry about it for now. Just keep an eye on it in the future. If you haven't figured out what this is yet, this might be a really good clue. I got these from Target. They were a little bit expensive, and if I had had more time to finish this and didn't have a million other things that I had to get done, I would have bought cheaper ones off Amazon, and I will make sure that I link some cheaper ones in my Amazon store down below in case you guys want to do something like this. But I'm going to screw these on, and I guess, the cat's out of the bag at this point. I'm making this into a hall tree, or like an entryway storage area. So this will definitely need to be anchored against a wall so that it does not tip over. It's kind of like IKEA furniture sort of thing. But I'm almost done. I can't wait to show you the finished product. Here it is. I staged it for you guys. I'm working on my staging. Let me know if you like this kind of staging down below, because I'm not so good at it. But I did sell this piece the same day that I listed it, and I sold it for $100. The hooks, I had about $40 into it, and then with the other stuff is about $50, although I could have done this for a much cheaper price had I had more time. So you could do it yourself probably for much cheaper than I did this project. Now I'm going to show you how I got a free piece of furniture and take you on that adventure with me out into the country. It's 7 in the morning. I got tagged last night on Facebook from a friend for a dresser. It looks like an antique dresser sitting on somebody's curb out in the country. And I am gonna go see if it's still there. We recently bought this truck. We used to have a bigger truck, but we wanted something that had better gas mileage, since this is something my husband drives every day to work. And here's a quick look at the shirt, full size. I love it. So the kids are asleep, and my husband is home. It's a weekend. Today's a Sunday. And usually I find these just as I'm driving or whatever, but a lot of times my friends will tag me on stuff on Facebook, and then I won't get there in time, or if I see somebody else comment on it saying that they need it or something, then I won't go, because I don't need this. You guys will get to see a video next week about some plans that I have for the giant hoard of furniture that I have stored in my sunroom area, which has become my studio. But my daughter's birthday is coming up, and that sunroom is off of my porch where the party's going to be, and I have to clear it out, and I really need to just get my act together anyways. So I don't know why I'm out here getting another piece of furniture, because I definitely don't need one, but I just feel like I'm supposed to. So I'm gonna do that, because when you listen to your gut like this, good things come from it, and I know that somebody will benefit from this, or I might get to sell it and use that money to make something else for somebody, or buy a piece to fix for somebody or whatever it may be. But either way, I love my job, and I love you guys so much for watching and allowing me to be able to do this job. Look at those pretty babies. Well, guys, I told you, when something is meant to be, you just know. And that's why she's free. Look at all that water damage. That's okay, my lady. We will fix you up. Alright, now I'm just going to go home and measure this thing and see which person on my list could use this. A lot of them are wanting entertainment centers, and you can always repurpose a dresser into a really cool entertainment center. And so I'm going to go see if it matches any of their measurement requirements, and if it does, then they'll get it. If not, then I get to choose what style to do with this piece. So the original post about this dresser on Facebook was posted by the person who lives across the street from the person who was giving it away. And I had commented on her thing saying, oh, I'm interested in the dresser, and she wasn't the one giving it away, so she didn't even need to do any of this to let people know that it was on the curb or to help me know if it was still there or anything like that. She just did it out of the kindness of her heart. And she probably appreciates antiques because she sent me a text saying, somebody's here getting it already. And I was like, oh yeah, that's me. And then she said, oh, it looks like it was in pretty good shape. And I told her about how the top was pretty destroyed, but that I'd worked my magic on it. And she just sent me a message again saying that she's glad somebody's going to fix it up. But I just wanted to share the background of the things that I do because it's filled with really amazing, kind people like this. And right now, we just need to know that there's a lot more of that in this world than what we see in social media or on TV. So, they're out there, guys. Amazing people are all over the place. I didn't get a chance to fix up this piece today, but I am going to be doing it very soon, and I will make sure to upload it here on YouTube when I do. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked what you saw today, don't forget to hit subscribe down below so that you can see more. Bye!